Are you in the mood for some cherry cola barbecue pork chops? Stick around and we'll make it happen. Welcome back to Heat of the Drum. My name's Steve. Today we're doing pork chops. Smoked pork chops with a cherry cola, cherry Coke to be exact, barbecue sauce that we're going to make and put on these in the end, and they're going to be good. Now this is like the time I like to say thanks to everybody who's clicked on the videos and watched. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'm teaching you something, and like I always say, there's stuff we're going to learn together along the way on this journey. So I appreciate it, guys, and let's get this smoker ready to go. I got the basket cleaned out and reloaded, and like I say, there's coals down in here from the last time I used this basket. I don't throw any of it away. I shake it out, get the ash out, and then I just top it off. So that's what I did. I topped it off with Kingsford briquettes, and then I had used up the last of my cowboy lump. So I'll need to get some more lump here. And I finished off the last of my apple wood. I got to get more of that. And I got plenty of hickory, so you know what? I threw a chunk of hickory in there too. So sometimes you got to change it up and work with what you got. So that's what we're doing today. I got my chimney filled. It's ready to go. It's about 3/4 of the way full. We're going to take it over there. We're going to light it, and we're going to get this thing going. And right in the center of the drum we go. I'll tell you, that wind is whipping a little bit today. It's in the 20s. The sun pokes out now and then. It feels pretty good, but it's not going to stop us. I smoke all year long. Let's get this chain off that I used to drop that basket in there. So I take my grate, I go down to my second level. That's where I always start my chimney. Go ahead and set that on in there for now. Go ahead and give this a light. Hopefully this lighter, getting the lighter to cooperate's half the battle. There it is. We have fire. All right, we got flame. Let's get her dumped in. Get rid of what's left over of that wax cube. Throw that off to the side. And here we go. Like I said, right in the center. So let's go ahead and get this on. Get my gloves off here. We're going to go ahead and put our restrictor plate in. And water. I'm a big fan of using a water bowl. So that's going to go directly in the center. We're cooking on the top grate tonight, or today. So we'll get that in so that can start warming up and getting nice and hot, ready to go. Go ahead and get our thermometer in. And that's ready to go. Okay, so what's going to happen here is we're going to leave this lid off for 5 minutes. Let these coals kind of get going a little bit. Our target temp, we're looking around that 250-ish to really, you know, anything in there, 250, 260, right around in there is acceptable to me. And like I said, it can always fluctuate either way. But that's kind of what we're going to go for, 250, 260-ish, right around in there. And so, yeah, we're going to leave the lid off for 5 minutes, let this thing get going a little bit, put the lid on, and then once this smoker gets to 265, I'm going to come out and I'm going to set my damper down there. So I'll bring you back for that. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and get this lid on. And we're going to take the time now to set our thermometer. Okay, so as you can see, we're going to go ahead and set our smoker down here for 265. Right there. And then we're going to come up here and change our internal thermometer, because we're going to put our thermometer in these pork chops. Probably, really, I'm going to go to 140. I think we're going to do 140. Then we'll start saucing them. So we'll go ahead and get that set. So now what's going to basically happen is I'm just going to wait until this hits 265. Then I'm going to set my damper down below. And we'll see how long that takes. It's kind of cold, kind of windy today. But I'll bring you back when I do that. Okay, we're back inside. We're waiting for the temp on our smoker to get 265 so I can set that damper. We're going to go ahead and get these pork chops prepped. Now this is going to be a real easy prep. It's just going to be a salt and pepper. The flavor is going to come from the cherry Coke barbecue sauce that we put on later. So let's go ahead and get them prepped. Okay, so here we go. Now what I have here is just 4 bone-in pork chops, and they're about 2 fingers wide in width right there, so in thickness. And a couple of these guys right here are slightly bigger, but that's okay. So I'm just going to get them off the packaging, get them on this pan, get rid of this packaging here. Oh, that's a nice one right there. Get rid of that down there. So let me go ahead and take these gloves back off because I don't want to contaminate my pepper shaker here. Take that back off. All I have here is just some kosher salt. I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. Just like that. Nothing too crazy. Just like that. And we're going to hit them with some fresh ground pepper. And if you're like me, you like pepper. Right there. Go ahead and get them flipped over and we'll do the other side. Let me grab a fork. Go ahead and kind of press that seasoning in there a little bit. And we'll just get them flipped over to the other side. Just like that. And once again, some salt. Keeping it basic on these pork chops. They're going to soak up some smoky goodness out there. And then we're going to add that cherry Coke actually, barbecue sauce. And that's going to add some sweetness. And we'll make that in a little bit. I'll show you that. But we want to get these on there. So got those prepped and ready to go. Now we got a few minutes left before we can get these on. So they're just going to kind of set off to the side and sweat it out. And once I go out and damper the smoker, I'll bring you out there. And shortly after that, we'll be putting these on. So bring you back for that. And one thing that I'm going to do right from the get-go is we're going to get this thermometer in there. So yeah, I think probably this guy here, he looks like a good candidate. So I'm going to go about halfway in that pork chop. Halfway up and halfway in. Right there. That way we can kind of monitor it right from the get-go. And we don't have to worry about nothing. Okay, guys. It was time. I came out and I got the damper set. Doing about 5/16 of an inch today. That should get us in that 250, 260 range. And we're going to be putting the meat on here shortly. I'll bring you back when we do that. Okay, here we go. It's time to put them on. So Right now our smoker is running 271, so, but we just dampered. It's running a little cold out today, and we just dampered, so it should start coming back down. Get into that 250 to 260 comfort zone that I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and get them on. And this little guy I'm going to place right in the center, protect him a little bit. And these bigger guys can kind of get in around him like that. And here's the one with our thermometer in it. He's just going to go over here. Maybe I'll swing this guy around a little bit right there. We'll go like that. That looks like a good spot. Go ahead, get this glove off. Get my thermometer out of there. There we go. Then we'll go ahead and swing this guy around and get him plugged in. Now what I'm going to do is in an hour, I'm going to come out and I'm going to rotate these guys around and I'm going to flip them. We're going to check the temp, see what it is, and kind of monitor our smoker and see where our temp is on the smoker. So we'll see you in 1 hour. Okay, so here we go with the sauce. This is a cherry cola barbecue sauce we're making. It's going to be kind of a sweet sauce, and it should go good with these pork chops. So what I did is I opened a can of cherry Coke yesterday, and I opened it and just set it in the fridge and let it start working on going flat. So what I did is I poured that into this saucepan, and we're going to get that on about a medium-low heat on the stove, and we're going to let that reduce down for 30 minutes. And then we're going to add in the rest of our ingredients. And what I have here is a 1/3 cup of ketchup, just regular old Heinz. I got 1 teaspoon of ground mustard, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper, and then we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of this apple cider vinegar. So let's get the cherry Coke on there, get that reduced in 30 minutes, and then we'll add in the rest of the stuff. Okay, so right there, we got our cherry Coke on. Set my timer, I got about 28 minutes to go, and we'll just let this thing kind of start bubbling away. And like I said, in 30 minutes, we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients, and I'll bring you back for that. Okay, just alarmed, we at the 30-minute mark, and you can see it's reduced down quite a bit, and that's exactly what we want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add our ketchup in. I'll pour it this way so you guys can see. Go ahead, get that in. Hopefully you guys can see that good. Like such. And then here is all of our seasonings that we discussed earlier. I'm going to go ahead and dump all those in. And now what we're going to do is we're going to set the timer for 30 more minutes, and we're just going to continue to stir probably about every 5 minutes. And we'll get this incorporated all in there. And about time this is done, and pork chops should be ready to go. And we'll be ready to go ahead and start putting this on there. And we'll bring you back then. And we don't want to forget that apple cider vinegar. Now I'll bring you back in 30 minutes. Okay, it's been an hour. Let's go ahead and rotate this. And we're going to flip the chops and see how they look. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my temperature probe out of here. Let's go ahead and set this over here. And let's get this guy out of here real quick. And get him out of there, that tangled mess, so that I can rotate. And we'll just slide it right around just like that. And we're going to flip. Oh yeah, look at those bad boys. Now they're not quite there yet, but it's not going to be much longer. So we'll go ahead and especially this big guy right here, but we're going to keep, or this little guy, we're going to keep him in the center, and these bigger guys just like that. Let me get the lid back on. And then I'll bring you guys back. First, we're going to take a look at that sauce. The sauce is almost done. We're going to time this about right. The sauce is almost done. It's got about another 10 minutes. These chops got about another 10 minutes. Then we're going to bring the sauce out, and we're going to go ahead and start putting it on, and we'll bring you back for that. Okay, it's been 1 hour, and as you can see, it has reduced down. I just turned the flame off, so it's still smoking hot. You can see that. And we're going to pull this off to the side, and we'll be putting it on the chops momentarily. Okay, so it just alarmed. Our sauce is done. We're going to go ahead and probe these just to make sure. Now, if you guys watched my last video, you knew that I tried this Alpha Grillers thermometer, and I was pretty impressed with it. It's not an instant read. It's a 2 to 3 second, but I'll tell you what, it works pretty good. And show you there. Yeah, we're at 139 on this big guy, and so that's going to 140 right there. That's exactly what I want. Let's double check this guy. He's 144, so we're exactly where we want to be. So we no longer need this thermometer. Let's get him out, and we'll get him off of here. The smoker is running about 249 right now, so it's exactly where we want it. And we're going to get these sauced. Here we go. Nice, thick coating. So I'm going to go ahead and brush this on here. And we're going to let it go for about probably 5, 6, 7 minutes, roughly right in there. And then we're going to flip and hit the other side. You can hear that wind whipping. It's been a windy day out here today. Oh yeah. Okay, get the lid back on. And we'll bring you back in 5 minutes. Okay, here we go. So we're getting ready to flip. I just wanted to point out to you guys, our target temp was 250. And I said 250 to 260. 250 is what I really wanted. Hopefully you can see that. We're at 251. So this thing is doing its job. Now, we sauced. It's been 5 or 6 minutes. Now we're going to get in there. We're going to flip them, sauce the other side. And after another 5 or 6 minutes, we're going to kind of evaluate how they look and go from there. So let's go ahead and get them flipped and resauced. Looking pretty good, but they're going to look a lot better once we get them sauced. And this is a nice thick cherry Coke barbecue sauce. And you can see the amount that we made is perfect for 4 decent sized pork chops. Now, if you were doing a slab of ribs or something like that, obviously you'd want to increase the amount. But for these, this is going to be perfect. And I got a feeling we're probably going to be saucing one more time, but we'll kind of determine that when we look at them again here in another 6 minutes or so. And actually, I can unplug this now. I really don't care what the temp is. I know where it's roughly going to be, about 250 in that range, and that's fine. So I don't even really need to see what that is. So we'll bring you back in about 5-6 minutes. Okay, it's been another probably 6-7 minutes, and we're going to take a look at them. Here we go. I'm going to flip them and take a look at them here. They are looking good. I think they need a few more minutes to tack up. So I think we're going to do is leave them exactly the way they are, and we're going to give it about another 5 minutes, and then we're going to be pulling these bad boys off. Okay, here we go. It's been another probably 6 minutes, and we're taking them off. They are looking really good. Let's go ahead and get them off. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. So let's just do a quick little recap. We did a simple salt and pepper seasoning on these pork chops. Something real simple because we wanted the flavor to come from this cherry cola or cherry coke barbecue sauce that we made. So it's basically just salt and pepper, and we put them out on the smoker. We flipped them after an hour and rotated in there, and it took about an hour and a half for those to get up to 140, and the smaller one was a little bit over that, about 144. But once the big guys here got to 140, that's when we started saucing. But when we first put these on, we went ahead and made our sauce on the stove. And I started out basically with a can of flat Coca-Cola that I opened up the day before and just left in the fridge. And then I put it in there, and on a medium to low heat setting, and let that reduce down for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we added in the rest of the ingredients, and that's all it took. You just got to keep an eye on it. It might take another 30 minutes. It might take a little less than that. Just keep an eye on it, and once it starts becoming into a sauce, take it off. And then what we did is we went out there. It was almost perfect timing. We went out there, we sauced them. One side, left it on another 5-6 minutes, flipped, sauced the other side, left it on another 5-6 minutes. And basically that was it, and then we brought them in, and let's go ahead and give it a try. Grab my knife and fork here. And this big one right here has got my name on it, so let's give him a try. I'm going to cut into him. Kind of show you what he looks like. Nice and done. Looks pretty juicy. And let's get a bite. Well, I tell you what, right away I taste the smoky flavor coming from the drum. And that's good. That's a good flavor. And although this is a cherry cola sweet rub, it pairs nice with that smoky flavor and just the salt and pepper pork chop. And I tell you what, that's pretty good. I'll take another bite. They're not dry. They're done perfect. And what a flavor. Go ahead and give it a try. So I see you again next time on Heat of the Drum.